Turkey, a nation uniquely positioned at the intersection of Europe and Asia, has long served as a cultural and geographic bridge between East and West. It is a land where ancient history and modernity coexist in harmony, where bustling cities meet serene landscapes, and where centuries-old traditions blend seamlessly with contemporary life. From the remnants of the ancient Roman and Byzantine empires to the grand legacy of the Ottomans, Turkey's story is one of resilience, transformation, and enduring influence. Known for its rich historical tapestry, Turkey has been home to some of the world's most significant civilizations. It has witnessed the rise and fall of empires, served as a vital trade hub, and played a pivotal role in shaping the cultural, political, and religious landscapes of both Europe and the Middle East. Today, Turkey stands as a regional power with a growing global influence, and it continues to draw millions of visitors each year, enchanted by its historic sites, natural beauty, and dynamic culture. This journey through Turkey's past and present reveals the deep-rooted significance of a nation that has forever been a meeting point of civilizations. Turkey's history stretches back thousands of years, with its earliest known settlements dating back to around 7000 BCE. The ancient city of Troy, immortalized by Homer in the Iliad, lies within Turkey's borders. But Turkey's true historical prominence came with the rise of Byzantium, later known as Constantinople. Constantinople was the capital of the Byzantine Empire, a civilization that preserved much of Greco-Roman culture after the fall of Rome. It stood as one of the most powerful cities in the world for centuries. The Hagia Sophia, built under Emperor Justinian, remains a symbol of the empire's grandeur and religious importance. The Ottoman Empire, one of the longest-lasting and most powerful empires in world history, was born in the 13th century and lasted until the early 20th century, covering over 600 years of immense influence across Europe, Asia, and Africa. What started as a small Turkish state in northwestern Anatolia under the leadership of Osman I, the empire rapidly expanded, conquering vast territories and dominating trade routes. By the 15th century, the Ottoman Empire had become a significant power, and its strategic location allowed it to control major trade routes between Europe and Asia. In 1453, one of the most pivotal moments in history occurred when Sultan Mehmed II, also known as Mehmed the Conqueror, led the siege of Constantinople. This marked the fall of the Byzantine Empire and the transformation of Constantinople into Istanbul, the new capital of the Ottoman Empire. This event not only solidified the Ottomans' dominance but also signified the beginning of a new era, with Istanbul emerging as the cultural and economic heart of the empire. Under the leadership of sultans like Suleiman the Magnificent, the Ottoman Empire reached the height of its power in the 16th century. Suleiman's reign is often considered the empire's golden age, characterized by territorial expansion, military dominance, and significant cultural and architectural achievements. The Ottomans controlled an area that spanned Southeast Europe, the Middle East, and North Africa, with lands stretching from the Gates of Vienna in the west to the Persian Gulf in the east, and from the Crimea in the north to the Sudan in the south. The Ottomans were not only fierce conquerors but also patrons of the arts, architecture, and science. Suleiman, for instance, commissioned many of Istanbul's iconic structures, including the Grand Süleymanî Mosque, which is still one of the city's most famous landmarks. Ottoman architecture is known for its grand domes, minarets, and intricate tilework, blending Islamic, Byzantine, and Persian influences into a distinct and magnificent style. Their architectural legacy can still be seen across many regions once under Ottoman rule, from the Balkans to the Middle East. The Ottoman Empire was also known for its complex administrative system and legal code, the latter of which was reformed and expanded under Suleiman's rule. Known as the lawgiver in the East, Suleiman's reforms in law and governance helped the empire maintain control over its vast territories by unifying legal practices across its diverse populations, which included Christians, Muslims, and Jews living under a system of relative tolerance. However, like all great empires, the Ottoman Empire eventually began to decline, especially in the 18th and 19th centuries. Internal strife, corruption, military defeats, and the rise of European powers slowly eroded its influence. By the early 20th century, the empire was known as the sick man of Europe, weakened by nationalist movements, wars, and pressure from European powers. The final blow came during World War I, after which the empire was dismantled and its territories were divided among the victors. The dissolution of the Ottoman Empire in 1922 gave birth to the modern Republic of Turkey, led by Mustafa Kemal Ataturk, marking the end of centuries of imperial rule. Despite its fall, the legacy of the Ottoman Empire endures. Its cultural, architectural, and political influences can still be seen today across former Ottoman territories. From the bustling markets of Istanbul to the Ottoman-style buildings that dot cities across the Balkans and the Middle East, the empire's impact remains deeply ingrained in the identity of these regions. The Ottoman Empire's rich history continues to be a subject of fascination, studied by historians and admired for its lasting contributions to world civilization. By the late 19th and early 20th centuries, the Ottoman Empire had begun to weaken. Internal strife, coupled with losses in wars, signaled the end of an era. World War I was the final blow to the empire, and in its aftermath, Turkey was occupied by Allied forces. Enter Mustafa Kemal Ataturk, a military leader who led the Turkish War of Independence. In 1923, he founded the Republic of Turkey, abolishing the Ottoman Sultanate and establishing a secular, modern state. Ataturk's reforms touched every aspect of Turkish life, from the legal system to the alphabet. He is widely regarded as the father of modern Turkey. Turkey's culture is a vibrant blend of Eastern and Western influences, rooted in its unique position at the crossroads of Europe and Asia. The country's rich history, shaped by the legacies of the Ottoman Empire, the Byzantine Empire, and ancient civilizations such as the Hittites and Romans, has left an indelible mark on its cultural identity. Turkish culture is known for its deep traditions, warm hospitality, colorful festivals, and diverse cuisine, all of which reflect the unique fusion of influences from the Middle East, Central Asia, the Mediterranean, and Europe. Language and literature. The official language of Turkey is Turkish, a language that has undergone significant transformations over the centuries, especially during the early 20th century reforms of Mustafa Kemal Ataturk. Turkish literature is one of the most ancient and celebrated in the region, with roots in Ottoman and Islamic traditions. Turkish poetry, particularly during the Ottoman era, holds a special place in the cultural consciousness, with poets like Yunus Emre and Nazım Hikmet being widely revered. Contemporary Turkish literature, led by authors such as Orhan Pamuk, a Nobel laureate, continues to explore themes of identity, history, and the tension between tradition and modernity. Art and architecture in Turkey have deep historical ties to both Islamic and European traditions. Ottoman architecture, known for its stunning mosques, palaces, and public buildings, continues to awe visitors with its intricate designs, including the use of grand domes, minarets, and detailed tilework. Modern Turkey also embraces contemporary art, with Istanbul being a hub for art galleries, exhibitions, and festivals that attract global audiences. Handicrafts such as carpets, ceramics, and jewelry remain an essential part of Turkish culture, often passed down through generations. Turkish carpets, for example, are world-renowned for their craftsmanship, with each region having its distinct style and motifs. The weaving of these carpets is not just a trade, but a cultural art form that reflects the social and historical narratives of the Turkish people. Music and dance play a central role in Turkish celebrations and daily life. Traditional Turkish music features instruments like the saz, a stringed instrument, the ney, a reed flute, and the darbuka, a drum. Folk music and classical Ottoman music hold a special place, while more modern genres like Turkish pop and rock have grown in popularity. Dance forms such as the traditional, Hali, and Zebek are often performed at weddings and festivals, where participants join in a celebratory communal dance. The whirling dervishes, a mystical Sufi order, are also a well-known cultural symbol of Turkey, captivating audiences with their spiritual performances. Cuisine, a feast for the senses. Turkish cuisine is a culinary delight, often described as a fusion of Mediterranean, Middle Eastern, and Central Asian flavors. From kebabs and mezes, small appetizers, to rich pastries like baklava, Turkish food is characterized by its use of fresh ingredients, aromatic spices, and bold flavors. Meals are a time for family and community, with breakfast being a particularly important meal that often features olives, cheeses, fresh bread, and strong Turkish tea or coffee. Street food is also a staple in Turkish cities, with popular choices including simit, a sesame-crusted bread, doner, and borek, savory pastries filled with cheese or meat. Marriage traditions, a fascinating blend of ancient rituals. Marriage in Turkey is a deeply significant cultural institution, where old customs blend with modern practices. One of the most interesting aspects of Turkish weddings is the unique mix of traditions that vary from region to region, reflecting Turkey's rich cultural diversity. 1. The henna night, kina gecesi. One of the most colorful and emotional pre-wedding traditions is the kina gecesi, or henna night. This ritual, often held the night before the wedding, is akin to a bachelorette party but is steeped in symbolic meaning. The bride's hands are decorated with henna, a custom believed to bring good luck, fertility, and protection from evil spirits. Women from both the bride's and groom's families gather to sing traditional songs, dance, and offer their blessings to the bride, often shedding tears as a symbolic farewell from her family. The groom and his family usually attend for a brief period, and then the women continue the celebration late into the night. 2. The red belt tradition. On the day of the wedding, one of the most prominent customs involves the bride wearing a red belt or sash around her waist. This tradition, especially in rural areas, symbolizes the bride's purity and innocence, though in modern times it is worn more as a nod to cultural heritage than its original meaning. The groom ties the belt in front of the bride's family, and it's considered a moment of honor and respect for traditional values. 3. The shoe tradition. Another interesting and somewhat playful tradition involves the bride's shoes. Before the ceremony, the names of the bride's single friends are written on the soles of her shoes. At the end of the night, if a name has been rubbed off by all the dancing, it is said that the person whose name disappeared will be the next to marry. This tradition adds a light-hearted element to the festivities and gives single friends hope for future nuptials. 4. The groom's hand test. In certain parts of Turkey, there is an ancient custom where, during the wedding, a bride places salt in the groom's hand. This is meant to test his patience and tolerance, as it is believed that the way he reacts to the salty gesture reflects how well he will handle difficult moments in their marriage. This tradition, though rare, adds a humorous and symbolic twist to the wedding. 5. Throwing coins and candy. At the end of the wedding, as the bride and groom leave the ceremony, the guests often throw coins and candy in their direction. This is a gesture of good luck, prosperity, and fertility for the couple's future together. Children usually rush to gather the coins, adding to the joy and energy of the celebration. 6. The bridal procession. In many rural areas, the wedding day begins with a lively procession to the bride's home, led by the groom's family. The groom, mounted on a horse or in a decorated car, is accompanied by musicians playing traditional instruments. The procession often involves the symbolic stealing of the bride from her home, where the groom's family must convince the bride's family to let her leave, sometimes offering gifts or money as part of the ritual. 7. Modern influences. While these customs remain an integral part of Turkish weddings, many modern couples also incorporate Western traditions such as white wedding gowns, wedding rings, and large receptions. However, even in the most urbanized settings, the influence of Turkey's deep-rooted traditions is unmistakable, with families often ensuring that cultural rituals are observed as part of the celebration. Modern Turkey is a nation of remarkable contrasts, where the ancient traditions of the East harmoniously blend with the fast-paced, progressive lifestyle of the West. Since its establishment as a republic in 1923 by Mustafa Kemal Ataturk, Turkey has undergone significant transformations, evolving from the remnants of the Ottoman Empire into a vibrant, democratic, and economically dynamic country. Today, Turkey is a regional power and a significant player on the global stage, thanks to its strategic location, its diversified economy, and its deep cultural heritage. Political landscape. From Ataturk's reforms to contemporary politics. The foundation of modern Turkey began with sweeping reforms initiated by Mustafa Kemal Ataturk, who sought to modernize and secularize the country, drawing a sharp distinction from its Ottoman past. Ataturk abolished the Sultanate, established a secular legal system, and reformed the alphabet, language, and education systems, fostering a sense of Turkish nationalism and identity. Turkey's political landscape today is a complex mosaic, with its governance structured as a democratic republic. In recent decades, the country has been led by the Justice and Development Party, AKP, with President Recep Tayyip Erdogan playing a dominant role since the early 2000s. His administration has overseen significant infrastructure development and economic growth, while also navigating challenges related to democracy, media freedom, and human rights. The tension between secularism, a principle established by Ataturk, and the rise of political Islam has been a defining feature of Turkish politics in recent years. In 2017, a referendum granted sweeping powers to the presidency, effectively transforming Turkey's government from a parliamentary system to a presidential system. While this shift has been controversial, it reflects the evolving nature of Turkish democracy, where the balance between political authority and civil liberties remains a key point of national debate. Economy, a regional powerhouse. Turkey's economy is one of the largest in the region, and it plays a critical role as a bridge between Europe and Asia. The country is part of the G20, and its economy has grown substantially over the past 2 decades, driven by sectors like manufacturing, construction, and tourism. Istanbul, Turkey's largest city, is not only a cultural hub, but also a financial center that attracts global investment. The country is a major producer of textiles, automobiles, electronics, and machinery. Its location has allowed it to become a significant player in trade, particularly through its customs union with the European Union, EU, and its strategic role in energy pipelines that transport oil and natural gas from the Middle East and Central Asia to Europe. However, Turkey has also faced economic challenges, particularly in recent years. The Turkish lira has experienced periods of instability, inflation has soared, and the country's reliance on foreign investment has raised concerns about the sustainability of its growth. Despite these challenges, Turkey's entrepreneurial spirit, young workforce, and strategic location continue to make it a vital economy in the region. Urbanization and infrastructure, the new face of Turkey. Modern Turkey has undergone rapid urbanization, with major cities like Istanbul, Ankara, and Izmir experiencing significant growth in population and infrastructure development. Istanbul, with over 15 million residents, is one of the largest and most dynamic cities in the world, serving as a bridge between Europe and Asia, both geographically and culturally. In terms of infrastructure, Turkey has invested heavily in projects that reflect its aspirations to become a global hub. The construction of Istanbul's new airport, one of the largest in the world, is emblematic of Turkey's ambition to be a central player in international transport and trade. Additionally, projects like the Marmara Tunnel, which connects the European and Asian sides of Istanbul under the Bosporus Strait, and the massive new bridges and highways across the country have transformed Turkey's transportation network. The Turkish government's ambitious Vision 2023 plan, commemorating the centenary of the Turkish Republic, outlines further goals for infrastructure, technology, and economic growth. It aims to position Turkey as one of the top 10 economies in the world, focusing on enhancing its energy sector, expanding its industrial base, and fostering innovation. Social and cultural modernization, a nation embracing change. Modern Turkey is a country where tradition and modernity coexist in fascinating ways. Urban centers, especially Istanbul, are buzzing with contemporary art, fashion, and music scenes that rival those in any major Western city. Turkish filmmakers, artists, and musicians have gained international recognition, while Turkey's booming tourism industry continues to draw millions of visitors each year to its stunning beaches, historical sites, and vibrant cities. Despite this, rural Turkey still holds on to many traditional values, and the cultural divide between urban and rural areas is quite pronounced. In many villages, life continues much as it has for centuries, with strong community ties, agricultural livelihoods, and deep-rooted customs. In modern cities, women's rights and gender equality have seen substantial progress, particularly in terms of education and workforce participation. However, issues like gender-based violence and the role of women in society remain significant social challenges. Furthermore, the question of Kurdish rights has long been a sensitive political issue, with ongoing efforts to address the tensions between the Turkish state and Kurdish minority communities. Foreign policy, a key player in regional and global affairs. Turkey's strategic location has always made it a crucial player in regional and global geopolitics. It is a member of NATO and has sought to maintain strong ties with both Western powers and its Middle Eastern neighbors. Turkey's candidacy for EU membership has been a long-standing issue, with negotiations often stalling over political, human rights, and economic concerns. In recent years, Turkey has pursued an independent and assertive foreign policy, involving itself in key conflicts in the Middle East, particularly in Syria and Libya, where it has used both military and diplomatic means to exert influence. Turkey's relationship with the European Union and the United States has been complex, with disagreements over issues like human rights, military alliances, and the refugee crisis. At the same time, Turkey has fostered closer ties with Russia, China, and other regional powers, signaling a more multipolar approach to international relations. Turkey's active role in organizations like the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, OIC, and its growing influence in Central Asia and Africa reflect its desire to be a leading voice in the Muslim world and beyond. Technology and innovation. Turkey's emerging role. Turkey has made significant strides in technology and innovation, particularly in areas such as defense, space exploration, and digital infrastructure. Turkish companies are increasingly contributing to global tech industries, and the country has developed a thriving startup ecosystem, particularly in Istanbul. One of the most notable areas of innovation is Turkey's defense industry, which has seen rapid growth in recent years. Turkey has developed its own drones, military hardware, and advanced weapons systems, contributing to both national security and international defense markets. In addition, Turkey has ambitious plans for space exploration, with the establishment of the Turkish Space Agency in 2018. The country has announced plans to send its first astronaut to space by 2023, marking a major milestone in its scientific and technological ambitions. Economically, Turkey is one of the largest in the region. Its industries are diverse, ranging from textiles and automotive to electronics and agriculture. Tourism plays a vital role in the economy, with millions visiting iconic sites like Cappadocia, Pamukkale, and the Mediterranean coast each year. However, Turkey's economy faces challenges, including inflation and currency depreciation. Despite this, the government continues to invest in infrastructure projects, like the new Istanbul airport, one of the largest in the world. Turkey's natural beauty is as diverse as its history. From the beaches of Antalya to the fairy tale landscapes of Cappadocia, the country offers a range of attractions. The ancient ruins of Ephesus, the travertine terraces of Pamukkale, and the stunning rock formations of Gorim National Park draw millions of tourists each year. Istanbul itself remains a crown jewel of global tourism. The Hagia Sophia, once a church, then a mosque, then a museum, and now a mosque again, symbolizes Turkey's ever-evolving identity. Another aspect of modern Turkey is its role in the global refugee crisis. Turkey hosts the largest number of refugees in the world, primarily from Syria, due to its proximity to conflict zones. This has presented both challenges and opportunities, with Turkey playing a crucial role in humanitarian efforts, but also facing social and economic pressures. From its ancient empires to its modern-day ambitions, Turkey stands at the crossroads of civilizations. A country of immense historical depth and cultural richness, it continues to be a key player in both the East and West. As Turkey navigates its path forward, it carries with it the weight of its past and the promise of its future.